This is a test of the boundary part alert system. Hello, welcome to. There we go.
Why is it blue? You've not put the thing on.
What?
It's black.
Well, don't say hello.
Hi. Matt's
Jesus.
failed again. It's
No,
all right.
I've just not got the background on. There you go. There's the background.
It's-
That's not the most important thing, Dave.
What's the most important thing?
Melon is cooking.
Oh,
I don't know what that means.
have you ever had cooked melon?
Melon is cooking. I don't think so. Hot melon.
Hot melon. No, we just do hot beef base.
Yeah. Good evening. Welcome to the Latics Football Phone-In with me, Matt Dean, and
Me, Sexy Dave.
Sexy Dave Bradley.
We've done the Happy New Year stuff, haven't we? So
Yeah. What day is 10th now? How long is it until you start getting bored of people saying Happy New Year?
I have a rule: if you've not seen them since New Year, you've got to say Happy New Year. So it could be October. You can say Happy New Year,
Right. Okay.
or not.
Okay. Or not. Right. Tonight, coming up on tonight's Latics Football Phone-In. What's coming up, Dave?
We have guests lined up from the Ale in the Vale podcast who are from Port Vale, who are going to tell us about our new signing, Tom Conlon.
Tom Conlon.
Conlon. Yeah.
Okay.
The
Tom
Conlon with the N.
Okay, that should be good.
And we've got the Hendon manager, Lee Allinson, who's going to come on and talk about the Dons, our upcoming opponent. And so if you want to give him a lot of grief before the game, please do. No, I'm only joking. If you want to come and ask Lee any questions or...
let's just find out a bit about Hendon, won't it? Because let's be honest, we've absolutely no idea.
Well, they're actually owned and run by Ian Allinson, who used to play for Colchester United and Arsenal. He's actually away on holiday. So we've got Lee, his son, who's the manager, on. So, yeah. Good.
Yeah. Should we get cracking? Should we get straight in then? First in was Andy Oldham, so we'll get Andy on, and then follow that where Billy and John are waiting.
Billy and John, and then Johnny from the Ale and Vale will be straight in after that, and then hopefully Lee will be joining us from there on. And if you do want to call, click the link on Twitter at OAFC Phoning, or it's in the link which Matt sent in the comments at 8:26 p.m.
PM.
Yeah.
Right. Let's bring in Andy. Hello.
Hi, chaps. How are you both?
How are you? Good, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. You're at the Dorking game Saturday?
I was, yeah.
I wasn't.
Yeah. I was there. I just wondered what you thought of it. And in particular, did you pick up on the comments by both Mark White and Mickey Mellon about the pitch and what influence the pitch had on the game?
I was talking to James Lampard, who's does the Dorking Wanderers podcast, and he's been on our show a couple of times. He was talking to us about the pitch, and he said they pick up so many injuries, ACL injuries in particular. It's not a good pitch, even for as far as artificial pitches goes. I think this is an old one, and it desperately needs replacing. He said they played on one. I can't remember where it was, but he said the difference was just incredible. The flow of the ball and all that kind of stuff. So I don't think it wasn't a good pitch, but
I felt it affected some of the Oldham players noticeably more than the Dorking players. In that, quite often on the second bounce, the ball just dies. It just stops. There's several times I saw Liam Hogan chasing back. And he was just assuming the ball was going to get out of play after the first bounced up, and it just died a death. The Dorking player knew what was going to happen and was after it, and he backed off. He thought, it's going out, and I saw that happen several times. And some of the passes just didn't get to the intended targets, mainly I think because of the pitch.
I think the irony about that, though, or the funny thing about that, is that in the first half, we played a lot better. Like we kept hold of the ball, we passed it around a lot better. It was in the second half that we died, and really you would have thought that we would have gotten used to the pitch more by the second half than in the first half. So
Yeah,
I think it would have affected us, but I think ultimately we just got outplayed in the second half.
Yeah, we're professionals, but there's also a possibility that it does behave differently at the top half of the pitch than it does at the bottom half. I've seen that in other games, in rugby matches, where one end of the pitch is sodden and the other pitch not. So the bands could be different in different parts of the pitch.
Possibly.
Like anyway, I'm not going to make excuses for them, because they're professionals and they should be able to adapt to it. But I just felt it had an impact on the performance, and I was comparing the performance of that game in my mind with the one I saw at Dorking, where we controlled most of the game. At Woking, it was a similar scoreline, but I felt we were much more in control of that game than we were in the Dorking. It could have been because the Dorking players did play a lot better, but I just felt the pitch probably had some influence on it as well.
Well, the Woking game was an anomaly this season, because that is the one game where we've controlled the ball, controlled the game with possession wise, really comfortably. We haven't really done that.
Do you want to know why that is, in my opinion? Do you want to know?
Tell me.
Dan Ward. He played in that game. I don't think we've seen enough of him, mate. When we played against Hartlepool at home, and he came on for the last 20 minutes, I thought he was outstanding. He has a way of he keeps hold of the ball a lot better than the likes of Gardner, McGahey. I think Dan Ward is a bit of a forgotten man, and I'd like to see a lot more of him, if I'm honest with you.
He's fully fit now, isn't he?
Yeah.
Back up to speed, yeah.
I took a couple of my Southampton friends up to Woking. They were impressed with Oldham at that game. It's probably the best game to take them to. But they were quite impressed with Devon Green as well. They were commenting on how they thought.
He's too inconsistent for me.
He is. He is. I did say that to them, but they said he's looking. He looks around the pitch more than some of the other players do. Let's say he's more aware of what's going on when he is playing.
What are your thoughts for Hendon then? The upcoming game against Hendon.
I haven't really been thinking that much about the Hendon game. I've been more focused on the Eastleigh game, because I'm on the south coast down in Portsmouth. I'm taking 10 people with me to the Eastleigh game. I think it's quite an important game. So I've got 3 Southampton fans, 3 Portsmouth fans, and a couple of other friends coming with me as well. So that should be interesting for me. And I think the next 2 league games, Boreham Wood and Eastleigh, will determine whether we really are going to make the playoffs or not.
I agree.
If we can beat Eastleigh, then we are starting to open a bit of a gap. We'll be in the playoff places and opening a gap between the playoff places and the team below. We've got a chance of going 8 points above Eastleigh.
I think, like we spoke on the podcast about the importance of keeping winning games, keep that winning run going. We've got the FA Trophy to come up. We've got new players now. We've got the lad Walker from Blackburn. We've got Conlon. So the midfield, you said Dan Ward's back in contention.
Yeah.
So that you might be a bit more competition for places in that midfield.
And
so
there may be more signings before weekend. We just don't know.
Hopefully we'll see. I think we'll see something different against Hendon.
I think it's increasingly likely we'll make the playoffs. I'm not too worried about making the playoffs now. I think these next 2 games will be a key indicator. I think Boreham Wood and Eastleigh, they're both potentially sort of, we could come a cropper on both of those games, or we could win them both. If we win them both, I think we're sitting quite pretty then.
Yeah.
Well, it's nice to be in the playoffs and having a nosebleed for a change, isn't it? Than rather than a relegation.
Well, it's fantastic. I've been waiting. We've been waiting a long time.
I know.
I know. It'd be great. We could do it.
We just need to make sure we don't just fall out of it again. We've got to stay, like you said, we've got to stay in there, haven't we? Make a fist of it.
We've got to win it. Get these next 2 games out of the way, and then we've got to, we can be a little bit more experimental, if you like. Go forward and attack.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, thanks for calling in, Andy.
Yeah, we've got a busy show lined up tonight. Thanks for calling, Andy. Thanks for getting us off and running. Cheers, mate. All the best.
Cheers. So we've got Billy and John next, and then we're going to bring Johnny from the Port Vale podcasting. Then we're going to bring in Lee Allison and Ian Allison from Hendon. Ian's the owner, Lee's the manager. So yeah.
All right.
Yeah, cool.
Right, let's get flying through. Let's get to the west coast of Ireland. Hello.
How's it going, lads?
All right.
How are you? You all right?
Yeah, no, we're doing good. We've been meaning to call in for a while, as you know, because I was sending you messages. But we actually managed to watch the Dorking match last Saturday. So we were like, no excuses. We have to get on this week. So here we are.
It was a thriller, wasn't it? If you were a Dorking fan, not so much if you're an Oldham fan.
Yeah, what do you
A
make
win's
of
a
it?
win. A win's a win.
The second half was pretty shocking. Dorking got a lot of chances and didn't score anything. Yeah.
We were lucky, weren't we, John? They could have scored easily quite a few goals, I think.
Yeah. Pretty.
Listen, John, what's it like being you must be the only Oldham Athletic fan, not only at your school, but at pretty much any school in County Galway, aren't you? We must get asked a lot of questions, do you?
Not really, but yeah. Everybody in my school is just supporting Man United or something.
Yeah.
And you don't want to be doing that.
His teacher actually once said something about a test. Do you want to tell that story?
Oh yeah, and so basically, what happened is like there's a test in school, and then so the teacher was like, "This is a test," and I said of the Banby Park alert system.
Excellent.
Did you get in trouble, or did they say great podcast?
Literally, nobody knew what you were talking about, did they?
Nobody knew what I was talking about.
Well, they will soon. When we go up and we start flying up to the championship, people will know about us then. Yeah.
So what do you make of things, Billy, of progress? Because obviously you've been in touch with us for a long time. We've been keeping an eye. You've been keeping an eye on everything that's been going on at Latics. So what's your assessment of where we are now?
A good place, a lot better than when I may or may not have been on the pitch at Salford, committing serious criminal offences and stuff. No, it was it's good. It's nice to be able to think that next time I go over, I'm going to see tangible differences. I look at things through the prism of Twitter and what you pick up and staying in touch with you guys. I don't physically see it, obviously, because I only get over about once a year. And just the notion of going over and seeing the physical improvements off the pitch, and then I think that we're things can change very rapidly, as we know, but it looks like we're slowly but surely now starting to see those incremental improvements we've always been talking about. Just watching, it's funny, I just mentioned you talk about just viewing the game through the prism of Twitter or whatever. A lot of it, can be fairly accurate. Like, you just see people going on about the need for a midfielder. We need a midfielder. When I was watching the Dorking game, you could see that so blatantly, clearly. You could see so many things that people have raised. I remember at one point, I think we were coming forward with the ball, and it was just kind of going to move through midfield, and there was potentially a foul on one of our players. And I thought, someone's going to say, or the commentator or something said, "Oh, the ref might play advantage here." And I was kind of found myself, I hope the ref doesn't play advantage, because if it's our midfield, they're just going to pass it out of play. Just give it the free kick. But that'd be the advantage.
Yeah, give it the free kick so we can put it in the box of our 11 strikers. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, but no, we've signed a midfielder now. The early indications from the signings we're making are that we have someone who really knows what they're doing. I like the style of, I like the way Mickey Mellon comes across.
Yeah,
you can't always judge just on interviews and stuff, but definitely all the signs are positive. So it's really good. I can't wait to get over it.
Well, we've got the FA Trophy as well. Let's not forget, and we've got the Hendon, which I don't think will be an easy game, because it's a big game for them guys, and I think they're going to bring quite a few up as well. And why wouldn't they? It's playing someone like Oldham. It's probably something that they've been dreaming of, isn't it?
Mickleover had a really good turnout, didn't they? They're really, really good atmosphere from their fans as well. I think just in terms of what you were saying, obviously this season has got a lot better in terms of results. I think the performances are still a bit iffy, like we saw on Saturday, but the results have no doubt got better under Mickey Mellon. The mentality
win ugly. It don't matter. Yeah. As long as they're winning, I don't care.
But looking at things like, off the pitch, I was looking at the hospitality. It's all sold out, virtually all sold out until the end of the season. Things like that just, we didn't even have any hospitality under the previous owners. So,
and we're yet to still get an invite from the club for providing this free service in the hospitality. If you're watching,
I've said to Luke, leave it till we get to Wembley, and then we'll have it.
But you'll be lifting the trophy before Liam Hogan.
So you'll be lifting me up, standing up. Wow. But yeah, it's chalk and cheese, isn't it? And we've got to finish the season. I think getting into the playoffs is crucial. Whether or not we go up it matters obviously, but the experience of the playoffs and finishing in the season challenging this season is hugely important. Do you think, before we move on to the next caller, Billy and John, are you both confident that we will make the playoffs?
What do you think?
Yeah.
I share his opinion. No, I think we will. I sometimes think that nearly if you scrape in, you nearly have an advantage in a way, because you kind of got a feeling like you're lucky to be there. You might be more fired up for it than if you.
I don't know. I think we just need to be in the mix all the way now to the last 50 games. Not this dipping in and dipping out.
No.
You know, look at Halifax, Hartlepool, and Aldershot. They were up there for the last 5 games or so, and they've dropped out. We've just got the right time, hit the momentum, just stay in there, third or fourth. If we can get, if fourth or fifth, sorry, if we get third, then happy days. If we can get second, even better. But let's just stay in the mix. We just don't want to get sixth or seventh, where it's going to be like a bit of a pain. Do you know what I mean? So we'll see what happens. But Mickey Mellon's the right man for the job.
And just like even the occasion, I mean, like set the bar high, tried to get promoted, but just even having a lash at it, geez, I'll be looking out for Ryanair flights, hopefully.
You need to email Latics for a Galway pre-season friendly, Billy. And
it's the dream. They did play. Oldham played Sco United in a friendly tournament in the Isle of Man many years ago, I believe.
Leave it with
me.
Leave it with Dave. He'll get it sorted. He's the man.
Thanks for the call, guys. Really appreciate it.
Yeah. So just keep those 2 weekends free, May the 4th and May the 11th for the FA Trophy final. There may be a couple of people on this call in a minute or two that disagree with that, but
they're definitely going to try and
we'll
stop
certainly
everything.
see. Take care. Thanks for calling in, and thanks for
guys.
representing us on the west coast of Ireland. It's great stuff. Cheers, lads.
Thank you. Cheers.
Right, let's move on to Johnny Ale and Vale.
Johnny Ale and Vale. Thanks for joining us, Johnny.
No worries, mate. How are you doing?
Tom Conlon, what
have you got?
What have we got?
You've got a left foot, and that's in the nicest possible way. In League One, it was found out because he is very one-footed. But if his Achilles injury and his hamstring are all tidied up now and sorted out, he's got a wonderful left foot. I'm sure you guys have seen the Barrow goal. I think you used that clip to announce him. But that season, he scored a few free kicks as well. A really key one in promotion season against Mansfield. And he's just very crisp on the ball. He likes to spread play. He's deeper and he's not scared of a tackle. He was our captain for 3 seasons, so he's a real leader. But most of all, you've got a really nice bloke, because he's such a nice bloke to talk to. He's always got time for people, and he's one of them players that you'll really take to.
Yeah. And so he says he's got a great left foot. Does that mean he plays on the left, or is he more central?
He's a central midfielder. We played him more advanced in his most successful roles. But it did end up a bit deeper with us as time's gone by, because League One was just a step too far for him, really.
Because last time, Dave, we went to Vale when we got the season we got relegated. Yeah, we got absolutely played off the park, didn't we?
I thought it was a good game, 3-2, weren't it?
Yeah, it was a good game. But there were times in that
could have been 3-3 if Sam Hart had not hit the bar. Do you remember that free kick?
I can't remember. But you had a good side then. You were in League Two. You were flying, and obviously we were struggling. So, but you said that was that probably his level in your opinion? Then was it in League Two? Did you think?
Yeah, I think so. I think it sounds really harsh, but when you go into League One, you can see the differences in football players, and he's very one-footed at that level. And I think that's because players are quicker, players are stronger, and players close down and play differently. League Two is remarkably different, and we've seen that even this season in playing, because we played Crewe, Sutton, and Mansfield in the cups from League Two, and we looked at controlling the ball a lot more, and whereas they were a lot more direct. So you kind of see the differences and see why a good midfielder gets a bit more time on the ball in League Two.
Well, it's good that he's a leader and he's a central midfielder, because we've been crying out for that in the middle of the park for the last 2 seasons, and what I've seen of his highlights and his goals. But he's obviously going to come in as a senior player, isn't he? By the looks of things as well, and
we've desperately needed quality for obviously for us since we got relegated from League Two. It's a bit of a slow crawl back up, but it's always nice to get an external perspective on Oldham from, obviously Oldham and Port Vale were run-ins for years and years and years, haven't we, in various leagues. What have you guys made of our demise? Because it has been a demise over the last few years.
In the nicest possible way, I'm quite happy because it's the coldest ground in the world. but for a football team, no, it's never nice to see. Your ownership coincided pretty much with our ownership being a farce, and luckily we got out of that a lot quicker before what happened to you guys happened, because it's a terrible league getting into, the National League is, because clubs can go in there and not come out for such a long time. You saw Chesterfield look finally like they're about to break their curse, and they've been in there for 5-6 years.
Not yet.
Wow.
The bubble will burst. Trust me.
We want to get rid of them, Dave.
Oh.
I think our timing's been pretty good insofar as Stockport, Wrexham, and Notts County have all got out, and we only had to deal with Notts County and Wrexham last season because for those 4 teams to be in it with Chesterfield and with us as well, and then it would have been a complete nightmare to get out of. I think now that once Chesterfield have gone, everybody else in this division is pretty average, like pretty average, as in they're all much of a muchness. Like the teams that came up are in the bottom 4, and then the rest are, So I think we've got a really good chance of getting out of the division this season or next season. But yeah, we need to get back to League One. Oldham v Port Vale in League One should be a standard fixture, really, shouldn't it?
Well, yeah, because I think we were both in that position of being in League One for absolutely ages without ever moving at one stage.
Yeah.
And like I say, talking that 3-2 game, because you had Calla Dunn at the time, that he was our nemesis for that season. I think
in terms of Conlon, does he dictate play and sort of lead on the front foot and the tempo of the game? Is he very much like the start of the play? Do you know what I mean? Is he like the impetus and gives the game a bit more tempo, or is he a bit more of a follower? Does he need someone with a bit more quality beside him?
Basically, we haven't got a playmaker who gets the forwards into play, makes things happen. That's the one thing that we've been really lacking. So is he the man potentially for that role?
Yeah, I think so. I think he'll love James Norwood, because it's someone that he knows that he can hit and it'll stick. I think that's the big thing with Conlon, is if you can get it into his feet, he can whip it and into the players, and then he'll carry on his runs and go past and stuff like that. So hopefully you play him more advanced, because I think he's better there, and encourage him to shoot, because in all fairness, the last 12 months have been horrible for Tom, because about 18 months ago we got promoted and he ruptured his Achilles, so that put him out for the last 6 months of the promotion season. He then never really got back fit in League One. It always looked like he was coming back because he thought he had to, and thought that because he was captain he had to come back, and he never really looked 100% fit and comfortable. And then this pre-season he had his number taken off him, so it doesn't sound a lot, but he was number 10, and he had that taken off him, and then he had captaincy taken off him, and then he tore his hamstring, and it's just been a hard 18 months for Tom, to be fair to him. So yeah, it's if you can get his confidence back and get him playing, then that's when you see the best of Tom. He needs to feel a bit of love, and
so on the back of our back-to-back promotions, then into League Two and then League One, he's got a point to prove, Annie, because obviously when you've been in League One, he's had his injury problems, and he's gonna show everybody that he can play in League One as well.
Yeah.
So when we're doing the double over Port Vale in League One,
Tom Conlon
in a couple of seasons time. I mean, this is where we're at, Johnny. We have to. These dreams keep us going.
Dream of a win at Port Vale away.
This is where we're at.
It's quite sad, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, we're joking. Johnny, you've been most brilliant again, mate. Thanks for the short notice and coming on the pod. It's
bit of an average season for Port Vale, I think, is it? You're kind of like mid-table at the minute in League One, aren't you?
Take it though, wouldn't you?
Are you happy? Are you still bedding in? Do you think, or when are you going to be making a push for the Championship? Do you think, if at all?
If at all, we needed a season to stabilize this year. Results still haven't been great. I think everybody knows that opening day of the season wasn't too pretty. No. You guys have done quite well not to actually mention it, because it seems like every time you speak to someone, they decide to tell us how we did first day.
We didn't do very well on the first day either, so there's no point us trying to, don't worry about that.
Well, yeah, then we went on a 10-game unbeaten run, and then a 13 games without a win. It's been very up and down, but mid-table was the aim at the start of the season. So we've got to be relatively happy, but we just want a bit more.
You've got a good owner though, haven't you? They're really good owners, aren't they?
They're brilliant.
Like us, what we had and what we've got now. You got to thank your lucky stars that your club's still surviving. Do you know what I mean? Because at some points, I bet you thought, I'm not going to have a club next season.
Yeah. Well, no, that's it. The last game of the season against Bury was when the owner decided that that's it, no more for us, before the Shanahans took over. And then we look where Bury are, and we're like, that could have easily been us at that point, because he wouldn't have thought twice about going, there you go, administration, do what you need to, I don't care.
It's just sad.
Full of charlatans, isn't it? The football ownership game, but never mind. We better be careful what we say. We've got a football owner coming on in a minute, aren't we? So I'm sure it's not. I'm sure he's not a charlatan, but we will ask him in a minute if he is. Either way, but yeah, looking forward to getting down to Stoke for a few pints. Watching us play Port Vale again, and hopefully in the not too distant future. It'd be nice if Stoke got relegated as well into League One, and we could play you both in a season. That'd be nice.
That'd be lovely.
That'd be lovely.
Yeah. Right. Thanks very much, Johnny.
Thanks,
really
mate.
appreciate it. So it's the Aylan Vale podcast. If you want to check it out, go and have a listen, see how Port Vale are getting on. Cheers, mate. All the best.
Cheers, lads. Speak to you soon.
See you now.
Mate.
Bye.
Thanks.
Right, good stuff. So, who have we got coming up next, Dave?
We have got the Don and Mini Don, Lee Allinson and Ian Allinson.
Here's Ian, the Don, and there's Lee. Hello, gentlemen. Thank you for joining us on the Latics Football Phone-In. Welcome.
Yeah. How you doing? You all right?
Yeah,
really appreciate it. Thank you for coming on at such short notice. But we thought with the FA Trophy blockbuster game of the day on Saturday between Oldham and Hendon, we'd get the viewpoints of the two guys who do the day-to-day running of Hendon. Pretty much, you've got Lee, the manager, and you're the other chairman. And are you the owner as well, Ian? As well?
No, I'm the general manager. The club is owned by the supporters. So
right.
We're a supporters-owned football club. So I'm
Excellent.
the general manager. We have a chairman, Cyrus Cooper, but a lot of the day stuff now it falls on my feet.
Give us a little bit of background on how you're getting on this season and where you are in the football pyramid and your general trajectory over the last few seasons. Because unfortunately, probably not many Latics fans know a great deal about Hendon. So give us
start, Lee, or
yeah, I'll go. Yeah, so we're Step 3 Football Club, steeped in history. I say owners. Supporters owned football club. We've had 4 rounds to get to where we're going on Saturday. We're 7th in the league and probably punching above our weight. Our remit every year is to try and stay in the division. Financially, we're probably bottom 4 with what we spend. But we've recruited very, very well in the summer and the performances have been really good. We did lose on Saturday, but obviously, I think in the back of our mind as players and management, we're always aiming for what we've got coming this Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we still cling to being ex-Premier League and all that, but it's a long, long time ago. It's 30 years ago, right? And we've not been in the National League before. Only this is our second season, so this is only our second season in this competition. Some of our fans are still snobbish enough to think that this competition is below us. It really isn't. It's where we're at, and I think Dave thinks it's an important competition for us. We've not won anything for 30 years, so to win a competition, get to Wembley is fantastic. I'm sure there's a massive difference in perspective from an Oldham Athletic point of view about this competition and even this game towards Hendon? What's the buzz been like playing? You know, when the draw comes out and you're up against a team like Latics.
Yeah, so for us, it's a massive game. Obviously, from where our ground is, Wembley's a mile away. So for us,
Right.
you know, it's huge. I remember when the draw come out, I was at work with sort of 7-8 lads, and we're listening to the draw, and we heard Oldham come out, and we're going, go on, this is the one. And then the ball comes out, and it's us, and it's a dream tie. You know,
Brilliant.
we're going.
Oh.
We say it's an ex-Premier League club because it is. You know, it's a proper stadium, it's a proper ground.
Yeah.
And for us, you know, listen, I'm not sure we're ever going to go and win the competition. So, you know, the next best thing is to play teams like Oldham, like yourself. And it's a great draw. And hopefully it brings us some much needed finances as well. Hopefully there'll be a half decent crowd, you know. And like you say, for yourself, you're 3 or 4 rounds away from Wembley. And surely that's a day out as well, you know. But I know you've got bigger campaign with the league and the playoffs that you just got into now. But I'm hoping you stop signing players before Saturday because all our homework's going out the window.
There's another 9 coming in.
Yeah.
I've just been told. So. No.
So Ian, is the gate receipt split like they are in the FA Cup then for these?
Yeah,
guys?
I think you've got all of your match expenses to be taken out. Obviously, there's travelling on our behalf. There's match officials. There's stewarding, everything, and then there is a split between both clubs. So again, I think we've agreed £12, haven't we, on tickets, which is good for the supporters from both sets. I know I was involved in putting the coaches on for the supporters and for the players and the team, and you know, that's not cheap. You know, that's over £2,000 just to get a coach to get up here for the day. So
how many have you got? How many have you got coming, mate?
I would say our average gate has been around 250, 300, and I'd be disappointed if we didn't have at least 200 travelling for the day.
That's brilliant.
I know we've got a coach full up. There's a number of people coming on the players' coach as well in terms of the committee and the chairman and people like that. And I know there's a number of people who have booked overnight accommodation that are coming up and watching as well. So it's a great. Leah said it's a great day out for everybody at where we are, but also, you know, whatever happens on Saturday, we've got to get back to league form the week after.
Yeah.
Well, I know that we've got the management team from Oldham Athletic watching. So, who's your danger man, and what's your tactics going to be on Saturday, please?
No, listen, we need to have a great day, and Oldham need to have a poor day at the office. That's football, you know. There's levels in this game. We understand that. I feel we've got firepower that can cause problems. You know, we've got Nico Muir that used to be at Hartlepool, very, very good centre forward. My skipper, Joe White, who was a pro at Stevenage, and I think he's played with a couple of boys at Oldham, who's a good player. And we've got some young lads that are very hungry to succeed and move forward. So, as I say, we've got to have a very good day at the office, you know. But football's a strange game, and you never know what might happen. You know, and we'll go there with no expectation. But let's see, you know, if we can defend well, I think we can get a chance, and we have to take that chance when it comes.
Listen, in the last round, Mikulova came up here. None of us had heard of Mikulova. They came up. They played really, really well. Like they played some really good football. Really surprised us. It was 3-3 after full time. Went to penalties. Like it was a really tough game. And our lads, they weren't firing on all cylinders, and we nearly got caught out. And I'm sure it'll be the same on Saturday. I mean, like. It's a big game, and I hope this, because I'm a bit of a football romantic and a bit of a football idealist. Like, I mean, you know, if I didn't support Oldham, I'd be rooting for Hendon, you know, the underdog, like, every time. You know, I love the romance of it. I love a giant killing and all that, and I hope that the Oldham fans turn out in numbers. The Mikulova game, the weather was absolutely abysmal. Pissed it down with rain the whole time. Yeah. Freezing cold. It'll be cold on Saturday, but hopefully it'll be dry. And people will turn out, and you'll get a good crowd to play in front of, because it is a big day for some of your lads, isn't it? Like you've mentioned some of the guys who are former professionals, but I bet you've got some young lads and stuff on there that have never played in a game anywhere near as big as this. So it's a big occasion for them, isn't it?
Absolutely, and the thing for me is just to make sure that they don't play the occasion, and just make sure they play the game and stay calm and relaxed. I think that's really important. But they're good players, and I hope they go and show how good they are. And look, for us as a football club, if we see people move on and, you know, into bigger and better things, that's a job done for us. That's what we're about as a football club. So I want them to go and put themselves on the stage and play well. As I said, Joe, we have to play very, very well on the day. But again, it's a great day out for us. We've played 4 rounds before this. You know, we've played Sudbury, Walton and Hersham, Eastbourne in the Conference South, Weymouth in the Conference South, and then you know, we've got Oldham on Saturday, you know, so we've had a lot of rounds going up to it. So I think the boys deserve a game like this. And as I say, hopefully we can just put on a show that win, lose or draw, Oldham think a lot of us and our supporters and our football club think a lot of us as players and management team, because a lot of hard work's gone into it. And hopefully they'll do us proud on Saturday.
Looking at your form and your results, you don't draw a lot, do you? You either win by 2 or 3 goal margin, or if it's fair to say, lose by a couple of goals. So you score a lot of goals when you win. And to be fair, you haven't drawn since.
If you go back to the first 10 games of the season, we drew 7.
Yeah,
and that's probably the real playoffs at the moment, because we were the draw specialists. But since then, the next sort of 15 games, we are winning, losing, which is obviously
26th of September was the last time you drew a game.
Yeah. But if you look at us from the 5th of August up to then, we were the draw specialists, and the amount of times we was in front with a few minutes to go, and we'd give
Hanwell Town 3-3 it was.
Draws are a killer, aren't they? They really are. Too many draws are just an absolute killer.
And we spoke about this. If we'd have like lost 3 of them and won 4 of them, we'd be 8 points better off, and we'd be right in amongst the playoffs. So.
Yeah,
you know,
so it's one of those things that where you're trying to protect a 1 goal. You're trying to protect a 1 goal margin, or rather than going to kill off a team when it's a draw.
I think Lee will explain where we was last year, where we was in a relegation battle, and a number of players we brought in from teams who were in relegation as well. And Lee spoke about it at length. Is we didn't know how to win a game, and we got a little bit nervous. And Lee spoke at length to the players about making sure we go and win games and get the nervousness out of our systems, because we got in front and started to protect what we had, but we was good, and we should have just kept attacking. And it's something that the boys have learned over the past sort of 2-3 months, and we've put some good results together.
Well, hopefully it'll make it a good game, because up until relatively recently, we couldn't win, could we? We were very much out of the habit of winning games on a consistent basis. Over the last, 13 league games now, we've won 7, drawn 3.
The last time we won at home before New Year's Day was the 23rd of November. September, sorry. That's how bad we were at home. But away, we were flourishing. So So we've we're starting to come into a little. I wouldn't call it form, but we're coming into results, and I think we'll take that. Winning ugly. Like our second half on Saturday against Dorking, they absolutely murdered us. They were, we were so lucky to get away with a win, but we won it. We dug deep and we won it. And I'm looking forward to it on Saturday. I must admit, I really am, because I like cup games. I like the excitement of by the end of there's no replays. It's just 90 minutes,
you're in or you're out by 5-ish, and I love that.
Yeah.
You used to play at Arsenal, didn't you, Ian? Back in the
day. I think next year I've done 50 years as a player and as a manager. And I know you got Bournemouth on Tuesday, but I managed Bournemouth in the National League going back 5 or 6 years ago. St Albans, we were at St Albans when we beat Forest Green in the FA Cup 2 years ago. So we are used to shocks. We are used to causing an upset. So I think it's all about how we approach the day. And as we've said before, Oldham are going to be massive favourites, but again, we know sometimes there's going to be an upset. But I had 4 great years at Arsenal. I was lucky that I supported them all my life, and as I say, I played them.
You played with my favourite ever player, Tony Adams, I bet, did you?
I played with Tony Adams, Paul Merson, and people
was
like
he
that.
Was he as intimidating as he looked, Tony Adams? I know
I think Martin Keown was more intimidating, because Martin would kick you in training, where Tony would be a little bit more lenient with you. So, I'd first come across Tony when he was 15 years of age, and he was a leader then. And then I went to Arsenal. I think he was 17, made his debut. And he just dragged people around. He used to organise people. He was just such a good organiser in terms of letting people know their jobs. And he didn't have to do it in an aggressive way, but he just wanted people to do their job. Pulled people in, pulled people out, got them organised. And where Martin Keown would frighten the living daylights at you, Tony was a little bit more organised in terms of the way he went about his business.
Of course, I'm thankfully I'm old enough to remember Oldham beating Arsenal Arsenal at Boundary Park in 1990 in the League Cup, a side that had Tony Adams and
now Quinn Allen Smith.
all the with the title winning team that
Yeah.
I mean, the champions at Boundary Park, we beat them 3-1, amazing. So that's where my journey
Where we were
as an Oldham fan started, and
Yeah.
fantastic team Arsenal had back then.
When you go back to the original 92 league clubs during my playing career, I think it was only one of them was Oldham. I've never played or ever been to Oldham to play a game there. Another one was the old baseball ground, and one of them was Bolton Wanderers. And there were three games at the original 92 league clubs. Everywhere else I played, so it'd be good to come up and I know the stadium's been changed around a lot, but to actually visit it'd be a fantastic, fantastic day.
The fans bar is next to I think the corporate area where you're probably sat. So nip down to the fans bar. We'll be in there before the game. We'll let you buy us a pint.
Yeah, Lee send the players in for a pint before as well. Like they get them loosened up. Those pre-match nerves.
Well, I know they've got a night out planned after in Manchester. So if it's
God
after
for that,
sure
you're not going to Oldham. Thank God for that. You're not going to Oldham.
No, listen, you'll have a great time. Manchester's a great night out, and Ian Lee, the club will look after you brilliantly, I'm sure.
Yeah.
It'll be a fantastic occasion. And like I said, I hope you have a great time. I hope we beat you and we move on to the next round. But I hope it's a great game. Your fans have a good day out and enjoy it. Maybe get a goal, consolation at some point, that kind of thing. But like I said, this is just hope, because when we played Mickleover, we could have lost that game very easily. So I think it's a bit of a wake up call probably to the players and to the fans that you've got to take these games really seriously, or otherwise you can very easily come unstuck. So it's by no means a walk in the park, is it? And we're being told here by Stephen, who I don't think has any meteorological training as far as I'm aware, but that it's going to be snowing on Saturday, so that'll be nice.
-3, -3. No, it won't be. But a new pitch, we'll be all right. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Thank you, gents. Really enjoyed it.
Mate,
yeah, thanks for coming on. Really appreciate it.
Thanks. We just thought we'd reach out, and I thought, why not? We reached out to Mickleover, they ignored us, and we beat them. So let's hope it's not a sign. But no, guys, we really do appreciate your time, and
appreciate that.
We wish as much luck as we can possibly give you, although we are playing against you on Saturday. But the best of luck for the rest of the season.
Come on,
and we hope you you get into that playoff position.
Have a safe journey up, lads. See you on Saturday.
Thank you, guys. See you Saturday.
Cheers. See you Saturday.
Bye.
Bye. Great stuff. Nice lads, aren't they? Yeah, good stuff.
Father and son.
I was going to ask if there was another generation coming up. That's because that's a football family, isn't it? You do get them, don't you? The managers, the players, and they're coming up through. So maybe
I know what a family is. Yeah.
Do you know what a family is?
Yeah.
Oh, you've got one, haven't you?
Yeah.
Got one of your own, haven't you?
I've got many.
Sexy days. Okay.
I haven't really got many, love, if you're watching.
She doesn't watch, surely.
No, she refuses.
You're out the house, then you're gone out of mind, isn't it? I should imagine. She's lost she's going to do, put you on YouTube.
You never know.
Well, you never know.
Many other women do.
Shall we have a chat with Ibby?
Yeah, do it.
All right, Ibby.
Evening, guys. You all right?
Yeah,
you, mate. Nice to hear from you.
Yeah, nice to hear from both of you. I hope you well, and you had a good Christmas, both of you, with your family.
Yeah, I did. Mate, thanks, mate.
Thanks. Yeah, good.
I'm in a good mood because I had a chippy tea.
Did you?
Yeah, I'm just happy that we're in the playoffs and we can at least say something different this season.
Yeah.
Ibby, what are we going to do as a fan base if we keep like in the top 6 and doing well? Because it's going to be a complete shift, isn't it? In the whole time that we've been doing the podcast and the phone-in, we've been rubbish, and we've never had anything to talk about being successful. It's going to take some getting used to.
What are we going to do if we actually go up? Because I was going to be like, I don't know what to do.
I think we will. I think we'll enjoy ourselves, won't we?
It's going to be amazing. It's going to be.
He's done a good job, Mickey Mellon, and fair plays to him. It was everyone's target to get into the playoffs, and if we can go on a very good run, who knows where it can take us, but I'm happy where we are. And also, we made a cracking signing in Tom from Port Vale.
Mm-hmm. I think, where we were after Steve Thompson left, it was still like, we're going to be mid-table. He's gone quietly about his business, Mickey Mellon, and the away form has improved immensely. the signings he's brought in from, I wouldn't say signings, he's brought players in from the cold who weren't involved. You know, you've got the likes of Tom Hobson, who wasn't starting. Charlie Raglan looks really well assured.
Tom Hobson.
Sean Hobson, even, sorry. If they've come in from the cold, haven't they? You know, and I think
it's crazy that, isn't it? Why the hell was
Unsworth?
Why did Unsworth not play Tom Hobson
or Raglan?
I'm not sure. You need to ask David Unsworth that, and I'm just happy we've got a very experienced manager at the club. He knows what he's doing. It's taken him time to get the players going, but it's slowly coming together now, which you can clearly see.
Yeah, there's a different mentality, I think, like that. We're getting results where we definitely wouldn't have got them earlier on in the season, even if we're not playing
Barnet
well.
away. Do you know what I mean? There's no way we would have gone to Barnet and won like 4-1.
Well, like last season when we went to Barnet, won 3-1. Was it 3-1?
But I'm just saying, I don't think we would have had that under us with the form that we're going on, the trajectory we were going. The guys had just completely lost all the confidence.
Yeah. Well, everything had gone.
Everything had gone, hadn't it?
Yeah, there's one thing about Mickey Mellon which I like. He's honest after his press conference. If we've had a bad game, he will say it. With David Unsworth, it used to be something else.
Yeah, he's much more of a straight talker, Mickey Mellon, isn't he? I think.
I just think it's just different. It's just different personalities. I think David Unsworth was trying to protect the players in his way, and again, it's just different. As we said, it was everything he said. I sort of had the opposite effect for Unsworth, didn't it? And no matter what he said, I think the only time he was really straight to the point was the last game against Bromley, wasn't it? And it was, I think the damage had been done, hadn't it? So.
Yeah. I was just going to mention this, but Chesterfield are doing us an absolute solid gold favour tonight, beating Gateshead 5-0. So
I don't care.
Well, yeah, no, they would have gone above us, Gateshead, if they'd have won. So that's exactly what we wanted. I mean,
are we gonna go up? Do you think if we stay in the playoffs?
Never say never, innit? It could happen, and all we need to do is firstly cement our playoff spot, because I don't want to lose games and then come back out of it and then go back in. Like you earlier said, Dave, we need to cement our spot and then go from there. And I believe we're capable of beating anyone on our day.
The thing is, it's so tight. Like we're in 6th on 42 points, and Eastleigh are in 11th on 37. So it's you can a couple of bad results and you can drop right down. So. And this is why I think it's important on Saturday against Hendon. Like we've got to win. We've got to keep this winning run going. It really does.
Do you think we need? What do you think we need in terms of signings, Ibby? What position? Obviously, what positions would you be looking at now? Now we've got the midfielder secured, a winger secured in Ethan Walker.
Probably a striker because apparently Nuttall might go out on loan or Kurt, so I would have to replace them and. I'm happy with the squad at the moment. The signing that we've made yesterday, believe me, you don't win awards for the fun of it at Port Vale. If he stays fully fit, we will be absolutely up there this season, and we need to support the players and continue what we are doing. And Mickey Mellon is the right manager at the moment.
I like this new optimistic. Yeah, I'm going to put it on in a sec. Yeah, Ibby, brilliant, because it's gone from Unsworth out to Mellon is the man. And I like it. It's good. It's all good, mate.
Mellon is cooking.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
I'll be with you guys next week.
All right, mate.
See you, mate.
Nice to talk to you. Take care, pal. Right. Yeah. So, bring this in. Gone from not enjoying home games to booking Maidenhead away. Keep it up, Mickey.
We're going there, aren't we?
We are going to Maidenhead, yeah. So we'll see you there, Adam, which will be nice. Yeah. So, it's winning. Look, we've said it all along. Winning makes you feel good, makes you want to go to the games. Even if you're not playing particularly well and you're winning games, it's winning that counts. Never mind like having amazing football all the time. Sometimes you win playing really well, sometimes you just win, and that's all that matters. We've been asked what's happening with Alex Reid.
Don't know.
We don't know. So there we go.
But when we do, we'll let you know.
Yeah, okay. Well, Gateshead have just lost 4 or 5 first team players, unlikely to be threatening the top 6. So presumably that's a transfer People coming in for him,
Or injuries.
Injuries. Yeah, I don't know. But anyway,
they might have just lost them, like they might have, like in the car park.
Well, they went and played away last week and just couldn't find them again. So
yeah, they went around the shopping centre and never. No.
I don't know. They never came home.
I don't know where they are.
Right, let's talk to Chris. Hi, Chris.
Hey, lads. Hi, lads.
You all right, mate?
You all right?
You okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, Happy New Year. Hey, listen, what a great feeling we're back in the playoffs. We're in the playoffs, and I'm watching the Gateshead game, and Gateshead are not the team that played us a few weeks ago. They are really not the team. They've had the backbone ripped out of them. Lone players going back to the parent clubs. I think their old manager, Williamson's been in for a couple of players, took them to MK Dons.
Yeah.
And they really are not the threat they were this week. I mean, they still play it about, but not the same panache. And Chesterfield are making them look pretty poor.
They've got the Super Callum Whelan.
Anyway, that's right. Yeah. Okay. Well, we've got our own Whelan these days. We've got our own.
Go on, mate.
Hey, listen, this new signing, where's he going to fit in? Because I mean, we've got a midfield to build, haven't we? Yeah. I presume that Conlon's going to fit into midfield with who? With Lundstrom or with Hope or?
It's got to be Lundstrom.
What's going to happen? What formation?
Sherman Ward, I think.
Yeah, I think he's going to stick with the wing backs. I think he's going to stick with Kitchen on the left and Sutton on the right until maybe somebody else comes in to take that position. And I think he'll Lundstrom, Sharon, and Conlon, or Ward, Conlon, and Sharon. I think Sharon will definitely be in the team. I would prefer to see maybe Lundstrom or Ward play in the sort of like the more holding role behind in front of the defenders. McGay's got to go.
Sort of player. No, McGay's not there. I mean, McGay's had a few good games against poor teams, hasn't he? Really, to be fair.
And I mean, because he came in and he did a good job when people thought, oh, maybe, but I think over time it's shown that he's maybe not.
He's too inconsistent. Do you know what I mean? I think he prefers playing in defence, doesn't he? I think.
Yeah. But I don't think he's got the build and physique for central midfield. To be honest with you, he's too big.
He's too old. He's an old school.
He's a centre half. I think that's just that. So yeah. So I'd like.
I think you called it right last year.
Go on, mate.
Chris.
Sorry, I was just saying. I think you called it right on the podcast. When you were saying about McGay's pass, we got out of jail with a bad back pass, and I think we got away with it. I think he's not the quality of player we want. I think if we want to proceed as Mickey Mellons is doing, we need a better quality player than McGay, with all respect. And I think Noah Woods, we've got a great keeper, a great striker, and a good midfield. Building hopefully. Hogan's been better. And I thought Sutton had a good game at weekend. Out of position. I thought he played well. The young lad played great. Could have had a goal. I mean,
he's not come up against.
I think we've got the base. The team's coming together.
He's not come up against anyone with pace in the last few games, Sutton. That's my only concern. When he's got someone with pace up against him, he'll struggle like flipping anything. So I think for me, although he's done 50 games, he's studying. He's not in the position that he's playing. I just think if he comes up against that Carnew at Barnet on Tuesday night, it's going to be a different ball game.
I think we've got Walker. So Alan's asking where Walker's going in. We think he's a wide player. So it'll be interesting. We've got on the weekend against Hendon. We've got the opportunity, obviously, to see some new players. Maybe especially in the midfield. But I think that Adam's making a good point. I was talking about this earlier on. We really have. I mean, Adams was when he was a regular on the podcast was often talking. Christian's for us, by the way. So just remove him until he comes back. Adam was saying about the spine of the team being really poor for a long time, and it was. But now we've got the likes of Hudson in goal, Hobson. Conlon now hopefully is that guy in the middle of the park. Norwood up top. It's a proper spine, and it's like we've been saying for a long time. It's these things, they don't all come together at once, do they?
No, but it's taken too long, hasn't it? 11 years.
11 years.
Well, if not longer.
Well, this is our second season in the National League, but
we've never had a true spine since Lee Johnson.
No, but now we're up to sixth. We're we're in with a chance of Chris Daddy. So that's disappointing result for us. So Dorking fan. Remember he messaged us before the game.
Who's the daddy?
Great set of supporters. Met a few on the way in, especially.
Yeah. Can't win them all, Chris.
No, but yeah, it was good. Like we said, we've enjoyed the relationship we built with Dorking. But ideally, this will be the last time we've played them. Now, we want to get up and into the football league. And
it'd be a shame, though. It'd
be nice, maybe if we can maybe get them in a cup or something. But look, I mean, at the end of the day, we want to be playing, with all due respect, much bigger clubs than Dorking and
be like that.
Hendon.
Yeah.
Well, don't we though?
Yeah, we do.
Of course we do.
Of course, anyone.
We want to be at the heady heights of Morecambe.
Or Grimsby.
So but yeah, football league is where we need to be, and we'll get there. We're on the way. And you know what, I think that'll do, won't it, Dave? But
before we go, should we
what
play our
you want to hear this, don't you? From Shaw
to Shulver,
Crompton
to Coldhurst,
Fittonhill
to Failsworth,
Hollingwood
to Hathershaw,
from Lees
to Limeside.
You're listening to
the Boundary Park Alert System, Oldham's award-winning podcast.
Yeah. So it's if you want to buy us a coffee. So now, Dave, fans can buy us a coffee. How do you like your coffee?
Like a nice cream, white, frothy latte.
Latte. So if you want to buy Dave a
latte,
then you can go to buymeacoffee.com/OAFC podcast. I'll just take mine black. Yeah, so there we go. Another show done and dusted, Dave.
Yeah, another show done. Yeah.
The Latics Football Phone would like to thank Johnny from the Ale and Vale podcast.
Ian Allenson and Lee Allenson from AFC Hendon.
And all the callers who helped make tonight's show possible.
And all the people who viewed the show.
So don't forget to go to the match on Saturday. It might only be the FA Trophy, but money goes into the club. It goes to Hendon, helps them. If you're not doing anything else, get yourself down to Boundary Park and cheer on the boys. Because you'll all be out the woodwork when we get to Wembley, won't you?
Yeah.
So see you on Saturday. And don't forget the podcast on Monday morning. Why has it gone away? There we're back.
I don't think I'm going on Saturday.
No, I don't think I could be asked.
No, I am really.
Bye.
Might do.
Thank you for listening to the Boundary Park Alert System, a QPod production hosted and produced weekly by Matt Dean, Andy Halliwell and Dave Bradley. QPod is Oldham's only dedicated podcast production company, and if you'd like to learn more about how podcasting can help take your brand to the next level, visit kupod.co.uk. A huge thank you goes to all those people who subscribe to the podcast on Spotify. We really appreciate you all. Please visit oafcpodcast.co.uk and click Be a Supporter or find the link in the show notes if you'd like to help us fund the show. It's only $2.99 per month to subscribe, but if you'd rather make a one-off donation, please visit buymeacoffee.com/OAFC podcast or click the link on our website. Don't miss the Latics football phone-in every Wednesday live from 8:30 p.m. Please visit youtube.com/@OAFC podcast and do hit subscribe while you are there. You can also follow and interact with us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram and TikTok @OAFC podcast. Big thanks go to Eileen Finnegan for writing our excellent weekly blog, which we encourage you to read on our website every Saturday morning, and also to Paul Prendergast for providing us with all the Latics Mind questions. The title music for the show is by Manchester DJ and producer Starion, and for more information visit bandcamp.com/Red Laser Records. If you'd like to be a guest or contribute to the show, we would love to hear from you. Until then, see you next time.